Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nathan. If you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a doubleheader, post-fight for the last card and a pre-fight for the upcoming card. So, quick rundown on the last card, and it was UFC Fight Night, Gain versus Rosenstruck. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name. Anyways, heavyweight main event, and to kick off that main card, we had featherweight clash with Alex Caceres defeating Kevin Kroom by unanimous decision, looking great all around. And then we had a bantamweight clash with Pedro Nunes defeating Jimmy Rivera by decision, and that got fight of the night. Then we had a women's flyweight bout with Mayra Bueno Silva versus Montana De La Rosa. Silva won, or it was a majority draw. But I had Silva winning the fight. But yeah, it was a majority draw. Then in the co-main event in the light heavyweight division, we had Magomed Ankalaev versus Nikita Krylov, and Magomed won decision unanimous. Then in the main event in the heavyweight division, we had Cyril Gain defeat Jermain Rosenstruck, decision unanimous, 50-45 across the board. Now to the pre-fight for UFC 259, which a lot of you have been waiting for. My predictions. UFC 259 is Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya for the UFC light heavyweight title. And to kick off this main card in the light heavyweight division, we have Thiago Santos versus Alexander Rakic. And I'm going to go with Alexander Rakic here. Hands down, I think the guy's the future. And I'll even say I think he wins by second round knockout. Then in the lightweight division, we have Islam Makhachev versus Drew Dober. I'm going to go with Islam here. I think he's going to win by decision, uses wrestling, and get the takedowns. And then in the bantamweight, for the UFC bantamweight title, we have Peter Yan versus Jermain Sterling. Yan defending the title, and I got Sterling winning by submission here. I could see a scenario where eventually goes to the ground and he works a submission and he gets it. So I'll say third round submission. I think it's going to take some time though, but he'll work it, and yeah, it'll be a good fight. Then in the women's featherweight division for the UFC women's featherweight title, we have Amanda Nunes defending against Megan Anderson, and I'm going to go with Nunes here by submission. I think she's going to want to take this fight to the ground. She's not going to want to deal with the height and reach that Anderson brings, and I think she mixes a ground game and just takes her down constantly, scores points, and wins a fourth round submission. Then in the main event for the UFC light heavyweight title, we have Jan Blachowicz defending against the UFC middleweight champ, moving up to light heavyweight, Israel Adesanya. And I went back and forth on this one, but I just have this gut feeling that Jan's gonna win. I was actually gonna pick Israel to win, and I know that fanboy in me wants to see the upset of the undefeated fighter, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think Jan has it. I think Jan has this, and I think he'll win. I'll say by knockout. I think Kelvin Gastelum, having wobbled Israel, I think Jan could definitely do that and do more with there not being a big discrepancy with the height. Israel is slightly taller still, even though he's from the lower weight class, but not by much. I think it's like by an inch or so, depending on whose stats you look at. Yeah, Jan Blachowicz. I'll say he wins, fourth round knockout. There you have it. There's my predictions, and stay tuned for my post-fight show. As always, until then, see ya.